Hello everyone, and welcome to the GBOriginal Griot. I'm your host, Prince Obioha Ezagun Ndi-GBO. And greeting you today. Today is the 1st of March 2021. Happens to be the Afo market day in Igbo calendar. And it coincides with the new year. So I'm wishing you all a happy new year from this part of the world. Today is a very significant day, and I felt I should drop this little video for y'all to share something that I felt would be of use to you. Just in case it's your first time visiting the channel, I encourage you to subscribe. If you find this info useful and would like to share it with others, please go ahead and do that. Share it with your friends, family, colleagues, and make sure to hit that bell icon as you subscribe so that as soon as we share any new updates or videos, you'd be amongst the first to know about it. With that being said, there's a whole lot of content that's coming your way from this channel, and on that note, now a lot of you might be familiar with a particular Instagram account called Savage Replies. Anyone who knows it, especially within Nigeria and perhaps other African countries, you might know that it's an entertainment site. In fact, I'm going to flash their page up for you on the screen so you can just familiarize yourself with it, perhaps even follow them. Now that you see what I'm talking about, Savage Replies tends to show screenshots of posts by various persons. I don't know whether it's on Twitter or Instagram, wherever, and it also is accompanied by some replies from commenters on the particular post in question. Now, usually this is done for comic relief. My people, Nigerians, tend to have a great sense of humor. They in a lot of ways they take a lot of things that on the flip side would be very serious, and they would turn it into a joke. Now, I happen to follow this account, and not necessarily just for getting laughs and all whatnot, but what I find is by analyzing the kind of things that people joke about, you tend to see another side or a deeper aspect into their psyche. And for me, this happens to be very useful. When you're in the business of reaching out to people, communicating with people, sharing stories, and also trying to help people better themselves, as I do in my day-to-day work. You find that knowing as much as you can about how they reason and how their mind works, their mental processes, helps you connect with them on a deeper level and help them connect with themselves on a deeper level. So enough with the chit chat. What am I trying to talk to you all about today? There's a particular post that caught my attention, and I'm going to flash it up on your screen right now, and let's read it together. What you see there, a certain lady, Renee, she said she asked her husband for money to start a new business, and he said she should write a proposal. Or rather, let me read that again. Let's read what she says. I asked my husband for money to start a new business. He said I should write a proposal. Just send it to his mail. Presentation is on tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp, guys. Wish me luck. Now, beneath that comment, that post of hers, there are two comments. One is from a guy. His name's Ndi-GBO. And he says, I told my wife this, and she insulted my life somehow. Now, beneath that, you find another comment from what I presume a woman, and she says, did I ask you for a presentation before you impregnated me 2 effing times? Now, the average person that goes through this post is, at the first glance might be taken by the apparent joke that's contained therein. But for me, I see something a lot more serious that tends to get overlooked. What is that? When it comes to relationships, and I've spoken about relationships a lot in previous videos, when it comes to relationships, and there has to be this understanding of the rules of engagement between the man and the woman, the husband and the wife. Now, it's unfortunate that what I tend to observe, and I've even experienced personally, is that a lot of women, not all, but a lot of women tend to misunderstand the intentions of their husbands. Now, let's look at this scenario that's portrayed in this post. A woman asks her husband for money to start a new business capital, I presume. And he says, all right, draw me up a business plan. And the woman who shared the post is actually all game for it. She's going ahead, but the people who are commenting beneath clearly show that they feel that they do not need to go through what they apparently feel is a hassle of putting together a business plan before getting financial support from their husband. Now, therein lies the question, the question of entitlement. It is true that, a husband, he's responsible for his family, taking care of his wife and children. And of course, that entails a lot of financial responsibilities as well. Then you have to understand, a man who truly wants his wife to succeed in whatever venture she has decided to undertake or get engaged in will want her to do her homework, would want her to really be sure that that venture she's chosen to dabble in is something that, one, she can sustain, is something that, is connected to her core source of creativity, something that she can actually carry on in the long term. It's not just a passing whim, and it's not just, as more often than not happens to be the case, it's not just a case of, oh, my friend's doing this line of business, or my sister's doing this line of business and it's working for them, so if I get into it, I'm gonna hit pay dirt as well. This unfortunate, this unfortunately happens to happen a lot. You find newly married couples, or even couples that have been together a long while, and perhaps at some point the wife wants to get into a certain line of business, or wants to perhaps support the family by providing an additional source of income. And more often than not a lot of thought goes into what the wife in question actually wants to do. They're just like, I need money, so amount to start a line of business. And most times the husband would, comply, just provide the money. She gets a place, maybe a shop or a business location, puts in the, stocks it up with the products or whatever it is that she's going to offer, a service or product or otherwise. And, the statistics speak for themselves. More than 70% of all newly established businesses end up failing. Why is that? That's the question a lot of people fail to ask themselves. These businesses fail because not enough thought went into, the preparations, went into understanding the dynamics of that particular sector that you're interested in getting into. So any wise man, any caring husband would want to make sure that his wife in question is fully prepared for what she's trying to get involved in. Because, for goodness sakes, even if the money's, stacked up from floor to ceiling in the family, and, the husband can afford to fund 1,000 failed business attempts from his wife, it still makes sense to try to make sure you cross all your T's and dot all your I's, if you know what I mean. It makes sense that he would want the wife to really take the time, do the market research, check all the factors that affect that business, check what the competition is doing, evaluate the chances of success in that particular sector. It's only the wise thing to do. So I don't see a reason why a lot of women, like those who commented beneath this post, would make comments like that or go as far as insulting their husbands, making statements like they're entitled, as if they're entitled to the financial support. Yes, they will get the financial support, but be sure at least that you've done your part by making sure that it's not going to be money going down the drain, or, you know, money being flushed down the toilet, that kind of thing. So, because every penny that's lost from the family coffers, it's a loss. I mean, nothing has come back from it, so the whole family's losing. And then there's the question of, the comment the second woman's made here, where she said, did I ask you for a presentation before you impregnated me? She's addressing her husband. Number one, not only is that statement disrespectful to her husband, but it also betrays the fact that a lot of women, unfortunately, in Nigeria, I'm not saying all, but from what I have seen, not just from my personal experience, but from observing relationships around me, a lot of women tend to take a lot of things for granted in their relationships. You know, they first of all don't take the time to understand the man they're with, understand what makes him tick, understand his mental processes, understand his intentions towards them. This woman says, or is accusing the husband of not having made a presentation before getting her pregnant for him twice in the marriage. Now, women fail to understand that the presentation that a man makes to you is essentially all that went on during your courtship period. For goodness sakes, the man comes to you, he checks you out, he likes what he sees, he sees potential in you. He sees, this is a woman that I can actually build with. This is a woman I can invest in, you know, raise a family with. The fact that he takes the time and the stress to come to you, present himself to you, show you what potential he has and the ability that he has to take care of you and any children that both of you have, that is the presentation, quote unquote, that the man makes to a woman. And the fact that you, as a woman, looked at everything that he presented and you gave him a passing grade, you essentially gave him a contract. Essentially, if it's in business terms and you're applying or you're vying for a contract, you go to the government, you present all that you got, you pass your track records, your documentation and all whatnot, and the government analyzes it, compares it with other, prospective contractors, and you win the contract. You, the woman, approving or accepting your man's proposal, you gave him that green light. And so he passed the test. You're together now as husband and wife. What follows? You know, it doesn't make sense what this woman said here. Obviously, you would not have seen him fit being your husband. I mean, if you had turned him down, it would have been because you didn't see he was fit to be your husband. You didn't see him being able to take care of you, being able to raise a family with you. But you did. You saw that potential in him and you said yes. So why this back and forth? Why this, what I call it short-term memory, or, taking things for granted? A lot of men go through things at the hands of their women and unfortunately don't get to talk about it, and it just gets swept under the rug. But I felt that this needed to be brought to the forefront so we can have a rethink, so that we can really begin to look at the way we interact with our spouses, with our friends and colleagues in general in life. Because when we just go through life, with a sense of entitlement, with a sense of, we only see things from our point of view, we always have that victim mentality, or, it's that me against the world kind of thing, or everybody owes me, I don't owe anybody anything. You make a lot of mistakes and it doesn't do our relationships any good. So I felt, this being a new year, this would be a great time to share this message. I just stumbled upon it this morning anyway, and felt that it was something I could share with you all. So let me end it here, and I would like to hear your thoughts about this topic. I know it's a very contemptuous one. A lot of women might want to get on the defensive and start saying all kinds of things. Just keep it civil. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. this video, and let's get the discussion going. Thank you so much for joining and for listening, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends and associates and family, you know, and keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive. Make sure that you're fully committed to advancing yourself as an individual, growing and being the best that you can be, because when you're at your best, it affects everything around you and everyone around you. You know, it's like a domino effect. So let's be that positivity we want to see in the world around us, in our relationship with ourselves and with everyone around us. Thank you once again. This has been your host, Prince Obioha Ezagun Ndi-GBO, and this is the GBOriginal Creator. Udo Dirna. Peace, love, and light to one and all. Cheers.